You guys remember how it felt as a kid when we would just spend hours and hours on one dumb thing? A video game, a cartoon, skateboarding, Pokemon cards. Well, people are still doing that with Pokemon cards. Drawing, whatever it was. And nobody had to convince you to care about it. You just cared. You didn't think about productivity. You didn't think about money or how to monetize it. You weren't trying to optimize every facet of your life. You were just there, existing. And somewhere along the way, for a lot of us, that version of ourselves just started slowly disappearing. Not all at once, little by little. Just life jabbing at you. Bills, stress, expectations. Be realistic, grow up, stop wasting time. And before you know it, life becomes the endless checklist of things that we have to do every day. And the kid inside you, that one that used to be excited about things, slowly dies. And that's what this video today is going to be talking about. How not just YouTube, but I don't want content creators or anybody trying to kind of live out their passion. I don't want the world and the systems to slowly kill that joy. I think we need to keep that joy. One of the saddest things I've seen in my over 15 years on YouTube is some creators absolutely lose passion for something that they once loved. They start their journey super excited, super hyped, right? All full of wonder, excitement, joy. I don't know, this just kind of reminds me of the Disney adults, which far at a glance it's easy to make fun of them, but I understand what they're doing. I understand that they want that feeling back, and I understand why they go to Disney every single day to recapture, never lose that inner child, right? I won't personally do that, but I understand why. Now, some of these creators, they start this journey bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, full of excitement, full of wonder, full of joy, full of, a sense of adventure, even fear. Fear is a big part of it because, guys, this YouTube thing, this content creation thing, this, solo entrepreneur thing, whatever you want to call it, it is scary. It is a road down the unknown. And it just sucks to see, over the years, these creators, lose that passion. The spark just goes out, right? No more spark in their eyes. And you can tell that their heart's not in it anymore. Nobody wakes up at 30 years old and just suddenly becomes some cynical dude or woman. It happens slowly. Responsibilities stack up. Repetition of adult life rears its ugly head. Every day becomes errands, obligations, maintenance, and you stop doing things for joy and you start doing things because you have to stay alive, to stay and eat another day. We used to play outside, back when I grew up. A bunch of us friends would go on our scooters, our Razor scooters, which were all the hype back then, and just go get into trouble. We didn't grow up in a generation where we were just doom scrolling all day. And I'm so grateful that I did grow up when I did. And I just remember the excitement of leaving the house, with my group of friends on our scooters, not knowing, where we were going, what type of tricks we would try to pull off on the scooters. If one of my friends had some type of way of recording it, and, what kind of shenanigans that we would run into. And that, I kind of miss that. And I believe that's why a lot of people travel nowadays, to kind of get that adventure bug, back, right? These new experiences, this kind of sense of breaking the routine, breaking the monotony. Yeah, I'm not saying that right. Monotonous nature of everyday life, where it's very predictable because we're doing the same thing every day. It's almost like autopilot at this point. The world has left a lot of people in survival mode. Bills, jobs, stress, obligations, and you almost feel guilty for doing some hobbies that you love. You think to yourself, should I be doing this or should I be doing something more productive, right? Hustle culture. And also, it's led to the loss of the word hobby. And I even made a video, previously about how we have to monetize everything now because a lot of people are living in survival mode. And, we're being forced to, if we're going to have fun, if we're going to have some joy, if we're going to indulge in a hobby, then part of our brain is like, okay, well, let me just find out how I can monetize this, right? Which in a perfect world, we wouldn't need to do that. But we're not in a perfect world. And so this is what it has led to. We turned hobbies into side hustles. You were supposed to start YouTube because you loved creating. You were excited to post. You experiment. You stay up late editing a video at 5 a.m., finally finishing it because it was fun. But then here comes that system, your obsession with the analytics, the CTR, retention rate, optimization, what's working, chasing trends. And at some point, you stop creating and we just start performing. We start dancing like monkeys to the overlord algorithm. Just think about the difference here in mentality, right? Kids will experiment. Adults, nope. We try to optimize. Kids are okay being weird because kids are weird. They're learning. Adults, nope. We fear embarrassment. We fear cringe because we care too much about how we're perceived by the outside world. Kids create because it's exciting, and adults, we're always seeking approval from others. The kid in you uploads the weird video because it sounds fun, and the adult says, that probably won't perform. I'm not going to put it out. And that's sad. And that's why my thumbnail copy says, never lose him. Now, I could say never lose her, right, for any women that are watching, but I think we should all strive to never lose that inner child within us because he's still there. He or she is still there. You might think they're gone, but nope. They're still there. They're just a bit quieter, So my message to everybody, make dumb things again, play games again, draw badly, create crappy videos, put out whatever creative blunder that your mind wants to create here on YouTube. Create without pressure. Have fun again. Make videos because you care and protect, that curiosity, that childlike wonder, that childlike feeling of creating. That's what I believe the essence of YouTube is. And I think that was what YouTube was born for. It was born for the creative. So whatever type of content that you decide you want to put on this platform, just know that these systems will work on you. They will jab you. Your analytics will be on your phone 24/7, calling you, teasing you. Hey, come check me. Hey, your video did shit. Hey, this video CTR is terrible. Hey, don't put out this again. But, I think it's truly, truly imperative that you don't let that take over, right? I don't think growing up is the problem. I think forgetting how to play is. I think forgetting the reason that you got into this is the problem. And maybe that kid inside you isn't gone. Maybe he's still there. Maybe he's just waiting for you to stop treating life like a checklist long enough to hear him again. So, guys, don't let this world kill the kid inside you. Never lose him.